How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, here we go. Part two. Part two of part 6 of the Roll series. We got Juno here joining. I know she's not going to miss it. That's my girl. That's my co-host. That's my Juno. That's my sweetie. Okay, let's get into it. These are the rolls. Let's do the heaviest one first. Let me see which one's the heaviest. Because one of them is like totally full, and one of them's like almost full. Open this one up first. I'm gonna take all the blades out first, and then put them on the table so it'll do a little bit faster. This is the Zytel roll. Now, Ti-Lite 6s don't use Grivex; they use Zytel. It was like the original type of, I guess, glass-filled nylon that Cold Steel was using was not Grivex or Grivery. It was called Zytel or Zyx. Cold Steel called it Zyx, I think it was. But the street name was Zytel. As you can see, I like Ti-Lite 6s. I only got a couple small ones. Just about my entire collection of Ti-Lites is Ti-Lite 6s. I never even carried the small ones before. But I have carried the mess out of the Ti-Lite 6s. It's one of the most carried knives in my collection that I've actually carried. I got a lot of time with. Most of my collections, those are collectors. Only a few of these I actually carried. The majority of them I bought just as to be out of spares and be collectors because they came out with, collectible models or what have you. Ti-Lite 6 is one of my favorite Cold Steel knives. It's actually my first knife from Cold Steel. Well, actually, it's not the first knife from Cold Steel that I liked were the Archangels, the Balisongs, because I was into Balisongs before I was into the Cold Steel knives. I got into the Balisongs like in the 80s, like the mid to the late 80s, all the way throughout the 90s into the early 2000s. I was in the Balisongs, but I stopped carrying them in what was it, 1995. I stopped carrying them in 1995. I carried them from the mid 80s all the way up until about 1995, about 10 years. And the ones I like to carry were like the Benchmades. I like the Benchmades with the die-cast titanium handles the best. And my favorite one out of those was the Tonto. You knew that was coming up, huh? Let me see this right roll. Oh yeah, that's right. This roll has some of the more high-end ones with like the better steels and things like that. This one right here, well, we'll talk about it after I get it out. Let's get all these out first, then we'll talk about them. Try not to use up too much time. This is going to be a long one though, because got a lot to talk about. Got a lot of history with these knives. It's one of my only recommended liner lock knives, because I really am not a liner lock fan, but I do like these. And in the first video, I think you found out why I like these so much. Okay, these are all my collectors, pretty much. Let me get them all organized here. Let me see, this one should go over here. These are the first ones. These came next. This one has a swapped handle and blade. Oh, I know, I swapped it out with the other one over here that I'll show you later. Okay. This is my very first one. this one belongs over here. And this one belongs right there like that. And this one is homemade. And these are boom, 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 and boom. Now these over here are the knives that aren't safe queens that are out in my regular boxes, so you can tell the difference. This one has some wear marks on it. You see from me using it. This one stays out. This is another one that stays out. This one that I put together. I think this one's the one that had the yep, it is. You see this handle right here? It's the same. These are the Lindsey Thompson crisp blades. This was the Lindsey Thompson crisp blade too. And y'all know where that crisp blade went. Boom, right there. She said the black handles and everything, just like this one. That's why it has all the black hardware. Uh-oh, what you doing, sweetie? Don't jump on the table like that. Careful there, kiddo. You gotta get down, kiddo. Gotta get down. Give me kisses. Okay. But this one has all the parts from, well, this one right here used to be like one of these. Am I getting kind of confusing here? As far as the handle and the screws and everything is concerned, it used to be like this one. Same thing goes for this one. This one is like, I was polishing all the way, I decided I liked it like that, and I left it like that. And this one got totally polished. These handles right here used to belong to the blade that's in this knife. But when these knives came out, I saw it, I fell in love with the crisp blade, and I wanted to make one with the fancy handle. And so that's the reason why this one is like this. And I've actually carried this one a lot, because this one is one that hides very well. It's easy to conceal, it's not too flashy. And you know how I am, I like to carry things that aren't too flashy. Let me show you that one that actually gets carried a lot. But this is one I put together with different parts. From, you know, I swapped the parts with this one. And this blade came from, let me see, what kind of blade is this? Oh, this is an Oz 8A blade. I think this blade came from this knife. This was originally an Oz 8A one. And it was a knife that I got off of eBay. And the handle was kind of beaten up. That's the reason why, you know, I bought it, because this is what I wanted to do with it. I wanted to take off the finish, so that was cool. Okay, let's get into it. I got one more over here. This is another one that's in my rotation drawer. My new one for this year. The Serrated Chris. Absolutely love it. Let's start with this one, since we got it out first. Serrated Chris. 6-inch blade, 7-inch handle, 13-inch knife. Oz 10, Japanese AUS 10A annealed AUS 10A. Stainless steel, very good stainless steel. In my opinion, I think it's comparable to like 154 CM. I think Oz 10 is really actually a very, very good steel. I know there's a lot of people that hate on it all the time, but I think it's a really good steel. It holds a good edge. It's not like Oz 8A. Oz 8A, if you think Oz 10A is like Oz 8A, you're wrong. Oz 8A is a good strong steel, but it has problems holding the good edge. And if you try to cut something hard with it, the edge will roll. That's how Oz 8A is. Oz 10A is not like that. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. These are some of my favorite knives of all time. I can't leave these all open because there's not enough room. They're all long knives mostly. Okay, this one right here is my oldest knife of all these. The very first Ti-Lite 6 I bought that I used to carry all the time. The very first one I bought, just like I kept the first Voyager that I bought that I showed you guys. This is the blade from the very first knife. Not the handle though, because the handle was like this. It was like, this is exactly how the knife looked when it was brand new. It was like one of these. This is the original CTX Ti-Lite 6 with the Oz 8A blade. This one's never been used. This is totally stock knife. That's how they came when they were brand new. This one was used and damaged and used and damaged, used and damaged, carried and used and abused and damaged. And then finally when it was retired, I polished it. I polished all the scars out of it. Sanded and polished and sanded and polished. I got all the scars out of it. Resharpened it, and it's been like this ever since. Put it on this handle. The original handles that it had, I used to make another knife that I made for the president of my old motorcycle club. Because he wanted a knife like this. When these kind of handles weren't out then, they only had black handles. But these kind of knives had all the black hardware. And he wanted a knife that was more he didn't want a flashy Ti-Lite 6. He didn't want one that was like this, that he thought this was too flashy. He wanted something that was all blacked out. And so I made one for him with the blacked out hardware, and it had the bead blasted blade, or I think they call it EDP blade, electric discharge plating, EDP coated blade with the black handle. And that's the one I made for him, and that's what happened to the handle for my knife. And so I took my knife off, and I got a knife off of eBay. This one, and no, actually, this knife came off of eBay, but the first handles for this knife was this handles, and this was another one that I had, another Oz 8 one I had that had a little bit of damage to it because I carried it, and so I polished it all the way out, and that was the handles for this blade. And then when these knives came out, I had to make this one. So I took this blade off of this one and put it on these handles. This knife I got off of eBay, the beat up one. Now I was gonna polish it all the way out like the other one, but then I got to this point and I sort of liked it like this, because it gave it sort of like a worn look. It's one of my favorite knives. It's my very first one. I don't really care about the blade steel that's, I do want a good blade steel. Let me not say that. I want a decent blade steel, but it doesn't have to be like a powdered steel. Powdered steels are nice though, But I also like to have the ability to buy these knives like a steel like Oz 8 or Oz 10 or CPM 154 would be nice. Or not CPM because that'd be expensive, but 154 CM would be nice, or even the Swedish Sandvik steel. That'd be a nice steel too. Or even D2, or even D2. But I'd rather have this in a stainless steel though, because to me, stilettos are best as stainless steel knives. I absolutely love these. These are my favorite stilettos of all time, are the Ti-Lites. I like them better than any other stilettos I've ever owned. And you can see why. They function the easiest. Italian stilettos are beautiful. They use beautiful materials to make them, different kind of horns and woods and brass and silvers and stainless steels and all sorts of stuff. They're very artsy and they're beautiful to collect and everything, but if you're going to carry one, I want one of these. I want one of these. I don't want to carry the Italian one if I have a choice between this one or Italian one. You gotta get down, sweetie. You gotta get down. I'll be done soon. I'll be done soon, sweetie. Let me finish up. But these are beautiful knives. Absolutely love them. Okay, let's get on to the next ones. I'm dwelling too much on this one. This is the very first one. 2001 was when I bought this one. I bought a pair of them. These are the original Ti-Lites, the titanium Ti-Lites. This knife is all titanium except for the blade and the hardware. But the handle, the pocket clip, even the leaf spring is all titanium. The blade, I think, is Oz 8, or it could be VG1. I'm not sure. It's not labeled. But I can't remember if it's VG1 or Oz 8. Usually when they didn't label them, it was Oz 8. But I know at this time they were using a lot of VG1 also. This is the titanium Ti-Lite. It was made in Seiki, Japan. Yes, if you can see the labeling on this. Yeah, you might be able to see it. I had two. I carried one of these for about 2 or 3 years, and it got to the point where it had a lot of up and down blade play because the titanium liners. This was before they put like inserts in them. Titanium's not like steel. It's not as hard as the tang of your blade. So the tang of your blade will wear the titanium down if you're rubbing hardened steel against titanium. And it started to get like up and down blade play, not a whole lot, but it just had, it had some up and down blade play, but I still carried it. And then the Ti-Lite 6s came out, and I got that, and I started carrying that. My buddy Mouse saw that I wasn't carrying this one no more, and he always liked this knife, and he wanted to buy it off of me, so I sold it to him. A few years later, my buddy Mouse, we clubbed together, we prospect together. He was a good friend of mine. He used to hang out all the time. And died on his motorcycle, on his Harley Davidson. But he was a good buddy. And that's what I always had that memory whenever I pick up this knife and I hold it. I think about that. I think about going. He had a big giant motorcycle brigade, for his funeral, the whole club, and it was a very emotional day. But it was a good day too, though. It was a good day. All right, next one. My new love, Serrated Chris. These I'm just gonna fly through. This is a brand new model. You can go out and get one of these. Absolutely love it. I'm absolutely loving it. Next up, this one is Oz 8A. This is the first one that I bought of this style of knife with the 7075 aluminum handles. The first one I bought it brand new to collect. I was already carrying the other ones, and I got the other ones first. I bought these later because they were expensive. I didn't buy them at first. I had to fall in love with the knife first. Sort of like my polished espadas. Now this one's a CTX-XHP, so this is the next one that was made. CTX-XHP. These are the EDP plated knives. This is a very hard coating to take off. I wouldn't try to take this coating off. If you don't like this coating, then I would just get a different knife. It's a very hard coating to remove. It's sort of like DLC coating. It's like really bonds to the steel. This one is this 35 SVN, S35VN, I mean. This newest type. I think they're still making these. They have 4mm blades, 13 inches long, 7-inch handles, 6-inch blades. This is my favorite model. This must be the new one. It feels really stiff. This is a G10 version. This is CTX-XHP one. I don't have the S35VM ones. My two are the CTX-XHP ones. I bought these when they're supposed to be a limited edition. They weren't supposed to be making them, but they had turned them into a production knife. Absolutely love them. It's one of my favorite Ti-Lites of all time. They got their Kaiser knife. They call it the Assassin. Nah. This is the Assassin. That's the Assassin. But you know, I don't think they should name things like that. But here's the one I carry. It's broken in. The other one's not broken in. The other one's like a brand new knife. Absolutely love these. These are excellent knives. These are the most expensive ones too, though. And you don't need to spend this much money just to get a Ti-Lite, because they're all great knives. Even the least expensive ones are just as good as the most expensive ones, if you ask me. They're just different materials, and you know, I don't know. It's like, you know, you can say, oh yeah, I got one that's made out of this and one made out of that, but basically, you know, it's the same knife though. That's my point. Okay, let's go with these. These are the oldest ones. I'm going to do this one last. These are the oldest ones. These are the original ones, Oz 8, and they have the original handle scales. Oh, Juna's determined to be in the video. That's my girl. I'll see you. I see you, sweetie. You gotta get down, kiddo. You gotta get down. You get so excited. And this, you know, I always get them in twos. This is the second one I got, but actually I got these in threes. Because I got maybe like 4 of them, huh? Boom. This was the first one that was like this, so that makes 3 of them. I guess 3. I had 3 of them. Okay. Because one set of handles got given away, so I had 3 of them. Sorry about that, people. I'm trying to figure out. I lose. You know, I've had these things for so long, I forget. It's not. You guys see these? You think I just recently bought them? I've had these things for, you know, going on 20 years now. I've all these knives for a long time. The only ones that are new are the ones made out of S35VN, 440C, or Oz 10A. All the other ones are old. CTX-XHP ones were from a long time ago, and the Oz 8 ones are the oldest. All right, this is the Oz 8A, but they're still making these though with this handle. The ones like this is the oldest. This is a new type of handle that they have. I like this, the way this handle looks better to me. I'm glad that they switched to this handle. I think it just looks better. Even though this one had its advantages though, because you could put your fingers in the holes and it gave you like extra grip to grip the handle, and so it made it easier to like manipulate the blade. You could put a little bit more torque on the blade without really using a whole lot of wrist, because you just had a really good grip on the blade, on the handle. So these old handles have their advantage too. These big holes have a big advantage over these little tiny holes, because you can't stick your fingers in these. But you can stick your finger in this. See what I'm saying? And you can hold on to it, gives you a good grip, and bam. It makes it easier to manipulate. Whereas this one, you can't do that. You just have to, I sort of hold on to the pocket clip. I grip it further back and hold on to the pocket clip. You just have to adjust. And this one has a handle swap on it. And I can't remember which one got swapped. Let me see. Oh, it might be this one. It's probably this one. I bet you this one had originally these handles, because it was like this one, I bet you, originally. Okay. I'm sorry, people. So it should have been like, boom, with this blade, like that. 1, 2, 3. That was a set. And I swapped the handles, because I wanted a black one with a crisp blade. Okay. I got it. So this is not the original handle for this blade. I always swap handles around because I always make the knives be like I want them to be. And when you've done it to so many knives in your collection, you forget which ones you did it to, and which ones came like that, and which ones are supposed to be like that, and which ones aren't supposed to be like that. Love it. Absolutely love the cold steel Ti-Lites. The cold steel Ti-Lites are one of my favorite knives. It's an awesome knife. Awesome knife. And you can use it as a cubiton for pressure points. You could use it totally as a non-lethal weapon. Yeah, you got all sorts of ways you can use this. It's a great self-defense tool. You don't just have to use the blade. You can use the blade as your last, form of defense. Fighting for your life, fighting for your family's life, fighting for your loved one's life. Fighting for America against an invasion of, Russia. Whatever. I'm being stupid now. Okay. Absolutely love it. It's a great knife. The small one, 9-inch one, 4-inch blade, 5-inch handle. This is actually a good size too. It's just that I like the bigger ones. It fits my hand perfectly fine. It's a good size. It's just that when I want a stiletto, I just want a big knife. If I want a knife this size, I'll get it like an EDC knife, like something that's like in my pocket. Went to work with me today. Absolutely love this one. This might be my favorite triad for this year. Might be my favorite triad. Why? Look how easy it is to manipulate. It is super easy. It doesn't run on bearings. It's bronze phosphor washers. Excellent knife. The blade's not loose or anything. This blade's totally solid. It's a triad. It's an 80-10. It's got the new Tanta blade, hollow ground, flat ground tip. This is a beautiful knife. This is beautiful, 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 beautiful. I highly, 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 highly recommend this knife. And even though it's kind of, big and bulky, it feels light in your pocket. I don't know why. It's just maybe the way that the handle's contoured or something. I've been carrying it for a couple of days now. It's just like, it's easy to carry. I thought it was going to be kind of like, want to pull my pants down. It doesn't do that. I forget it's in my pocket. And this is a super awesome knife. Look how thick the blade stock is. I think it's like 3.8 millimeters. This is a serious knife. 3.5-inch blade. Okay. It's at its time in the spotlight. Let's move on. Oh yeah. This is the Oz 10A. This is the new one that you can get now. This is from the newer batch. Oz 10A Chris. They made these in a couple different blade steels recently. The first ones I got were 440C. The Lindsey Thompson ones. Absolutely love these crisp blades. Isn't that beautiful? I love the crisp blade, the cold steel crisp, the Filipino crisp blade on a stiletto. That's awesome. I had to get one of the small ones too, just to collect. I've never carried it. I just thought it was cool. Just like you see me get the small ones for the Italian ones and the German ones. This one right here, this is a Lindsey Thompson. And it's number 67. This one's number 67. Lindsey Thompson. This is 440C. Let's see where it says 440C. I think it's right here. .440C. 4 millimeter thick blade stock. It's got OD Crane, Zytel handle scales, Zyx handle scales. OD Green Zyx backspacer. Oh yeah, did I show you the backspacer on this one? This one is like a brown. I think they call it earth or something like that. And it has the same color backspacer. All the other ones have like black and Black and black backspacers. Ugh. Absolutely not these. These haven't never been carried, so they're kind of stiff. Actually, this one is working pretty nice. Usually they're real stiff when I first get them. Guess we'll have to be broken in a little bit. This one's the same thing. This one is 160 something. Or 151. 151. And the one I had with the highest number was this one. And that's the reason why this one has the handles that it has. Because this one was 154. This is a Lindsay Thompson knife also. 440C. Chris. So that's number 154. I nicknamed it 154. And this is the one that I carry now that has the parts that came from this one to make the 154. It turned out to make a really nice knife that doesn't have a flashy pocket clip. I hate the flashy pocket clips on these. I wish they had black pocket clips like this one. That's why this one, you can see, look at the pocket clip, you can see it's got some wear marks on it. It's because this knife gets carried. Because I can carry it discreetly. And that's the way I like to carry big knives. I like to carry them discreetly. That's about for all of these. Put out the ones I actually carry. Ooh, that one sounded good, didn't it? Didn't that one sound good? Oh, that one sounds really good. Oh man, I actually really like this one because I like the crisp. I like the crisp blade with the serrations. I should get another one of these just to have it in my collection. But that is too cool for school to me because this knife to me is all about self-defense. It's not meant to be anything else. A stiletto is all about self-defense. All stilettos are, all folding stilettos. I'm sure, you know, they got kind of, you know, showy and touristy and gimmicky, you know, this period of time or whatever, you know, but they've been around for a long time, since like World War II, I think before World War II actually. Because the soldiers are the ones that brought them back to the United States. That's when we learned about switchblades in the 50s. In the 40s and 50s. And then they made that movie, West Side Story. In the 60s, I saw it. That's why I fell in love with them. And to me, I always liked them because a stiletto was like the taboo knife. You know, it was like a sinister blade. It was evil, and they outlawed them. When they outlawed switchblades, when they were outlawing switchblades, they were outlawing Italian switchblades. That's what they were outlawing. They weren't outlawing all the modern stuff that you see nowadays. What got outlawed back in the day was the Italian switchblade. Knives that looked, you know, looked like this. You know, they had the shape like this. That's what they outlawed. Same thing happened to the balisong. The balisong got the same stigma put on it, just like the Italian switchblade did. Because they said the Chinese gang members in Chinatown, and you know, so they outlawed those too, because they scare people. And I got a big collection of those too. I guess I like the knives that scare people, maybe. But anyway, that's it, people. That's it. Part 6. The Ti-Lites. Part 6, the Ti-Lites. These are all my favorite Ti-Lites. How many I got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 18 Ti-Lites. So far I got more Voyagers than anything. More Voyagers than anything. I had 21 Voyagers. I actually had 22 Voyagers because I had one that wasn't in the video. All right, people. I'm going to try to get these out tonight. It's going to be late, though, because I got home late. So I didn't get the chance to make these until later. Got some new videos coming up. Got some more things to do. And the next videos will be with the rest of my big mega folders from Cold Steel. The Frenzies, the Luzons, the Rajas, and the Elan, and the Kudus. But anyway, peace out. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Peace. Stiletto.